Welcome everyone to the Underground Sound. I am DJ X-Tech. With me as always is Carlos Fandango and the biggest fan of country music that we have, Mr. Smart Monkey. Together we are putting the us back into music.
So please do. It sounded like you was doing it as the Elephant Man. Subscribe. All right, okay. Action. So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we'll play the music that you love. Oh my God! You've jinxed me now. You've jinxed me.
Show 29 off to a good start.
And action.
Let's go, Smart Monkey. So what are we doing?
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we'll find the music that you love to hear.
And of course, don't forget to click the little bell, which means you'll be subscribing to get all the album. I'm starting now. Right. So you'll be getting all the uploads of the notifications of any uploads of any videos that Tom uploads to the uploads on the uploads channel. Thing.
This is going to be a good show, isn't it? Oh,
yeah. So basically, click the little bell and you'll get all the notifications of whenever Tom uploads a new video for the Underground Sound. I nearly said Underground Sound. The brand new Underground Sound, where we every tune for you.
Oh,
it's because it's lots of umming and ahhing going on.
Where do you start?
I think so. If you missed episode 28, we were crying for a completely different reason. So please do check that episode out. It is called the group hug episode, and obviously today we're off to a really good start here. I mean, it took us 10 minutes to get through the intro, but I think we're fine.
If you like professionalism and really strong, excellent presenters, then we're the kiddies for you.
Well, we definitely are. The show is nothing but professional over here, So, yeah. And where do I go from here?
Did you have a this day in history thing?
No, I didn't. My goodness.
Oh, sorry.
We'll have to leave that. We'll have to leave that out this week here. Special thanks, obviously, going out to our show sponsor, Nathan Bashir of Monsters Are Real. Please find the link in the video description for monstersarerealmusic.com. Pay Nathan a visit and his entire. Okay, so it's going to be one of those shows. Okay, I get it. We're not high, I swear. Special thanks to our show sponsor, Nathan Bashir of Monsters Are Real. Please visit the video description below and find links to monstersarerealmusic.com and pay Nathan a visit there. Check out his body of work. And I was going to get to something else.
Don't know.
Yeah, I feel like and visit our
show.
Visit our website as well, usundergroundsound.com, and find all the stuff that we got going on there, which is pretty much nothing. I haven't updated that website in I think the last month. Updates will be coming soon, obviously, as the radio station draws closer and closer and closer. Time keeps on ticking forward. We're going to lose an hour here, so springtime is starting. By summertime, the radio station will be up and at 'em. So for today's episode, Carlos Fandango, I see that our first track here is called Downwind from the Train for Sinners. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, Train for Sinners. Now, it says here, well, actually, this comes up as an artist of Tanga, which is, obviously, what's the word? Stage name is Train for Sinners. on this particular song. And it says all music and vocals at De Valnor, and guitar and vocals trained for sinners. So it must be some sort of collaboration here, I think. And the beat maker here is Tangela Prod. So it doesn't say who they're following, who their inspirations are, but it does say for this single here, for this song, this is the new single of my band Train for Sinners. Right. So, and you can stream this song on all, actually it says platforms, but I think it means platforms. Basically, yeah, on DistroKid and all major platforms. I can't remember a great deal about this song. I think it must be a good show starter, so a bit of a track with oomph. So I think we should, without further ado, just get into it.
The fact that you can't remember much about the song is very apparent.
Well, the problem is it was a couple of weeks, well, about 3 weeks ago. But yes, I can't remember much.
Train for Sinners with Downwind. Let's check it out.
Raindrops on the windows, here's a rainbow coming out. Sitting in my kitchen was my dream all about. Oh, am I hoping for the better? Oh, am I hoping for a change? How it feels to be free. Oh, am I sitting in the cage? Oh, my dreams feel the sounds I'm running downwind. Oh, my dreams all chasing worlds in the water's water. My dreams feel the sounds I'm running downwind. Oh, my dreams all chasing worlds in the water. The island queen. There's someone talking to me. I'm too high from somewhere. Call me Ishmael, you said. I'm big what is wedding sad prayer. All the raindrops turn to rainbows. All the voices turn to vice. The dreams might make me drown. The things might make me fly. Oh, my dreams feel the sounds I'm running downwind. Oh, my dreams all chasing worlds in the water's water. My dreams feel the sounds I'm running downwind. Oh, my dreams all chasing worlds in the water. The island queen.
That one was called Downwind by Train for Sinners. Mr. Monkey, how'd you feel about that song?
Yeah, good opener. got a lot of Killers vibes from that song, The Killers. I'm going to be honest, I struggled a little bit to understand some of the vocals, the lyrics. I was struggling a bit. Sometimes what I heard was quite amusing, but that's just probably my ears. But generally, I thought, the feel and the vibe of the song was really good, actually. Kind of indie rock feel to it. It's sounded pretty well produced. It's it's pretty radio friendly to a certain extent. Those lyrics would, I've got to be honest, but if we were trying to get to a sort of English speaking market, you would need to just hone in on them a little bit more. And I always feel bad about that, because I always feel like, we're fine people to talk when singers have to sing in English, but it's just that translation I just found a little bit missing a little bit in places. But generally the song is really good vibe, really good feeling, nicely produced. And the other thing that I wanted to say was the artwork that this group do for their stuff is fantastic. It's really good. So all credit to them on the artwork as well. So, production, vibe, artwork, really good. Just a little bit on the translation for me, but it's a small criticism.
Okay. Carlos Fandango.
Well, it's kind of rich coming from us. We can't pronounce our words.
Yeah,
right,
yeah. It's a good point. It's a good point.
We need some translations.
We struggle to get the show open, so yeah.
The underground sound. Right, okay, so basically, I've written down, funny enough, you used to say Killers, because I've written Muse, actually, because I'm getting sort of, particularly with the music, I'm getting the Muse vibe. So it's music, and basically from mainly the bass drums and guitar, because it's got a lot of drama in the movement of the guitar notes and the bass notes. That sort of just a half step up on the bass, and just nice movements on there. Close supporting harmonies, very good. Yeah, I think the same thing. I've written 10-pole Tudor. Now, the reason I've written 10-pole Tudor was because exactly the same thing about the words. Now, if you remember, you might not know it, but in the early 80s, there was a English band called 10-pole Tudor who did a fantastic few songs, but particularly Swords of a Thousand Men. And you can't really hear the lyrics he's saying, and he is English speaking. So, but it's quite fun because he's got a certain way of singing it. So this has got that kind of unusual sort of sounding enunciations. But I think Rob's right. Just appealing to a wider market, it would be good to have English lyrics written down so you can see what's being sung. But a lot of the time, you think of things like Michael Jackson. Half the time, I mean, he's saying "Shum on" for "come on" and all that kind of thing. So it's and he's always got his lyrics printed, because a lot of the time you couldn't actually necessarily understand clearly what he was singing. But the backwards sound effects were very good. I like those. But a well constructed song. There's time signature in the break. Changed and seamlessly went back into the original 4/4 beat and everything, and seamlessly right through to the end. Really good song, with a nice strong show opener, and I like it. And I think Rob's probably right. We just need a bit more clarity on the vocals, or an English lyric translation would be good.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's a good point. If the lyrics have been up there, you're dead right. Actually, there have been some English spoken songs where we all have to go and look at the lyric sheet at the end to understand what they've said. So you're right. That's a good point. So maybe, if I could have just seen the lyrics on the description or something, that would have helped me. Because I feel like I'm missing a little bit else. But,
when I think of singing along with something like 10-pole Tudor, Swords of a Thousand Men, you have to meet the enemy a mile away, thunder in the air and the sky will grey, and you sort of do this sort of voice. And you sort of doing all this sort of thing. You think, I don't know what I'm actually singing here, but it sounds about right. But that's part of the fun. I think.
Have you ever sung along with a song for like years that you were sure that those were the lyrics, and then like 10 years down the line you're like, oh damn, I was wrong this entire So that could have been the problem there, right? So I mean, a good catchy song. It kind of like reminded me of Filter in a way, and and a little bit of Radiohead with some of the kind of like seemed like synth effects, right? But the musical effects that they had going on reminded me of Radiohead, but it really gave me this kind of like this filter, like, hey man, nice shot kind of like vibe to it, right? It wasn't exactly the same tempo or anything like that, but definitely sounded very cool. Once again, I agree with both of you guys, is that, you know, the knowing what the lyrics are and just having that kind of like lyric sheet, I think, you know, if you were able to sing along with it, then would have been, you know, that much better, because there was obviously a lot going on there, because the lyrics didn't really stop throughout the entire song, right? So it kept on going from like beginning to end. So just a little bit of an explanation would have been great. But I agree with you. But I mean, listen, the production quality overall, I think, was really good. I think the vocals could have benefited from like maybe a little bit more reverb or a little bit more echo. They sounded kind of like plain and dry. So I mean, no biggie there. Maybe that's the way the song is intended. There's a lot of metal, you know, kind of like rock and metal songs out there that are like that. But overall, I mean, I'd have to give this, you know, like 2 thumbs up. Honestly, it's a memorable song. It's you know, it's definitely listenable. It's enjoyable and everything like that. So good job on that one. Thank you very much. And before we hit song number 2 here, I would like to know what Carlos Fandango's Today button is.
Oh, okay. It's all you need is love.
All you need is love.
All you need is love. I do believe that, actually. Well, I mean, obviously you need other things as well, but but generally speaking, I think if you've got love, that is one of the most fundamental things.
All you need is love. Great song by great people. So moving on, we have Bonnie Hart. All sun, no clouds. What do we got going on, Carl?
Okay, so Bonnie Hart. Now, I know she's uploaded quite a few songs on here, and I've not really sort of latched on to any of the previous ones, but this particular one I do like because she's taken a different direction. I like the direction she's taken. So, but Bonnie Hart is from Los Angeles, California, USA. A singer, composer, actress, producer, and writer based in Hollywood, California. Eclectic artist, classically trained with an undergrad and master's degree in opera and theatre. So it goes on further, but influences include ones that are shared with me would be Queen, the Beatles, Elvis, Prince, Otis Redding, John Denver, David Bowie, Stevie Wonder, Harry Styles, Coldplay, John Legend, Aretha Franklin, and many, many others. So so numerous influences. This particular song is called All Sun, No Clouds, and it says it's an original song that is a fun and quirky love song about the sweet moments of love and the desire to keep that beautiful feeling of when you first fall in love. Ideal song for Valentine's Day, I think. Oh, there is more to this, by the way. It says, Twitter-pated and lovesick. Every word is a depiction of my own love story with my husband. Oh, that's sweet. I wanted to release it for Valentine's Day in honor of love.
Well, there you go. Look at that. You were correct on the Valentine's Day theme of it here. So let's check it out. This is Bonnie Hart, All Sun, No Clouds.
Sitting in the sun, my love, my book, and my tunes. He's my handsome blue-eyed cherry lip afternoon, feeling just fine, wasting time. Sunday in the park, we'll only stay until dark. The wind is picking up, but it don't blow out a spark, feeling just fine. This love of mine will find a way to stay as happy as we are today. This love we found, and I love the way the sun just finds its face and lights the world up bright in love. Oh, sun, no clouds. I'm so happy now, I have a love of my own. He's so sugar sweet, I just can't leave him alone. He's so fine. This love of mine, sitting on the beach, the waves come tickle our toes. It laughs and smiles at me, and then it kisses my nose. Feeling just fine, wasting time. We'll find a way to stay as happy as we are today. This love we found, and I love the way the sun just finds its face and lights the world up bright and loud. Oh, sun, no clouds. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-dum. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-dum. La-dum-di-dum-di-dum.
Alrighty, all sun, no clouds from Bunny Hart right there. Carlos Fandango, you open this one up.
Yeah, I mean, this one's from the get-go. It's a sort of older-fashioned style of song with just the sparse arrangement with the guitar, predominantly, and the vocals. But of course, there's some nice strings that sort of seep into the song, and the song sort of drifts in and drifts out, almost like clouds passing. So I quite like the idea of that, and as if you're sort of laying down in a field of daisies and things, looking up at the sky, seeing shapes in the clouds, and it's that kind of song, but it's got a nice feel about it. I mean, if you think of Mama Cass's version of Dream a Little Dream of Me, that's got that sort of nice warm huggy feel about it. Nice harmonies, nice details. It's the sort of song that Randy Newman might write or Bobby McFerrin might record, like Don't Worry Be Happy. That sort of nice feel about it that could go on a Disney Pixar movie or a quirky Woody Allen film, that sort of thing. So like that. And now I know that Bonnie Hart's voice from previous listens to songs, that she can really belt out songs. I find it a bit too overpowering, but I like this because while she is capable of belting out notes, she does generally control it in this song. And I prefer it because she's doing the softer, tender singing. And I much prefer her singing like that. And I would love to do more of those kind of songs where there's a lot more character in the vocals rather than just pure belters. What I would say also is that she has got an exceptional range, so she does sort of go up to those really high notes with ease and some lower notes, and it's just very catchy as well, because you've got the la-di-da bit and we're all sort of bobbing our heads along. So I think it's got a lot going for it. It's obviously not your regular pop song these days, but it's certainly got potential commercial use.
Monsieur Smart Monkey.
Yeah. So I don't hear many of these tracks like this these days, and I had a spate of listening to a lot of Madeleine Peru songs, and she's got that kind of jazzy, that easy jazz feel to her singing style, and this took me right back to that. This particular song has that kind of jazzy, that easy jazz feel to it. Katie Malua as well, that kind of vibe to it. It's just a really easy listening song, and I really liked it. So you were saying that you were in a field looking up at the sky. For me, I was on a beach with the sand in between my toes, and someone just sat there, arguably it could be Bonnie, sat there playing the guitar, singing this song, and you're just looking at this beautiful summer day. It just oozes that kind of vibe to it, a summer day of chilling, relaxing, and just it's a really nice song. The harmonies are really good. There are times where vocals, I was like, they could just do with a little bit of refinement, but that just could be all about a take, a take of that particular vocal. If you're in a recording studio, they'll probably just say, just do that particular bit again. I just thought it's a really, really good song, and I really enjoyed it. And it harks back to an innocence and a music style that we don't hear quite so much these days. So, yeah, good one.
That's for sure. This is definitely a song that I could picture probably like in the 70s, like being like super popular. So overall, let's talk about like song vibe, because the vibe was good, because you're sitting here and kind of like doing this thing and you're bobbing your head to it, and then the just the guitar itself and everything is pretty catchy. So what kind of jarred me about it was it kind of seemed like when we had that cello portion there, the cello kind of like sounded like maybe like pre-recorded or recorded like in a professional kind of like studio manner, whereas the rest of it kind of seemed like it was done in kind of like an overlaid way where you're doing it live, kind of like one take without really messing with any of the knobs or anything like that. And it could have been, without having heard Bonnie's body of work, the rest of the stuff that's up, that it could have very well been the purpose and the intent of the song, because maybe like a one take thing. I wrote this for you and here you go, love you. It's a Valentine's Day gift. So that could be it. Because the vocals were overpowering at certain points. In the beginning, you really heard it like almost to kind of like a clipping point. And then when it kind of like tuned down, then it kind of like sounded like, like you were singing in a, I was going to say photo booth, for crying out loud, but in the, in the soundproof booth for the record studio. Overall, once again, just nothing wrong with the song. Great vibe, great message. It's a Valentine's Day present for hubby and everything like that. So I got a nice job, Bonnie. Nice job. So I'll check out the rest of your stuff here. And then obviously, folks, if you have any comments that you'd like to leave, then please hop into the video description below. Find these artists and find them, show them some love. But underneath the description is the comments box. Leave your comments there. Let us know what you think about these artists that we are reviewing on our show today. And so we come to the first Purple Bowl of Destiny.
Yes, indeed, we certainly do, and we've got it coming up here. I'm actually shaking the bowl, believe it or not. So, just in case you wondered. And here we are. Both hands are present, of course. And there we are. So, Al, you'll be here soon. I must say, Al is awake at the moment, but just will be joining us soon. And Al's got a special hat on as well, made of a sellotape reel. So, actually, yeah, it's quite an interesting little hat I found. But Al will be joining us later. But as is customary,
I'm very curious about the hat.
For the first round, it's actually a sellotape.
So the Al's choose to put that on his head.
Excuse me.
Al did that. Al did that. Yes.
He's got a sense of humour, hasn't he?
It certainly has. Certainly has. Right. I'll swizz. Oh, goal.
Or when Destiny did ask for her bowl back, she only loaned it for you to you for a little while.
Right. Okay. So I'm not even going to look. You can only see my face. So you call it. I'm not even.
Go ahead, man. Go. Just stop.
I'm just going to leave it there for the rest of the show.
A bit worn out now. Oh, you'll like this. Well, hopefully you will, because last time you put me on trial for it. But here's electronic.
Supersonic.
Indeed. Ah, that's a good song. If anyone's not heard it, is Carl Bartos from Kraftwerk, I think it was. Did a song called Electronic 8-Man. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's brilliant. I would absolutely advise. It's a fantastic song. Really good. So it sounds just like Kraftwerk, basically, but as they tend to do. But it's a really good song. And I think it'd be your cup of tea as well. As electronic men.
Electronic men.
You are robots. Yeah, very much. EDM guys.
Fill the silence.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, sorry, it's my mistake. I did have it already. Got the worst jokes in the world as usual. And
Too bad, we're already ready to go. So.
oh, go on, just one.
Okay, just one.
It's a bad
you
one.
Really
so
don't want to, Tom. You should just carry on quick.
Oh.
I did warn you.
Ben was busy making a pizza. He shouted to his friend, "Get the dough. I'll need it soon."
I did tell you.
Seriously, man.
Oh, go on then. What's yellow, then green, then yellow, then green? A banana that banana that works part-time as a cucumber. Oh my goodness me, that's awful.
Right, because the other one was just a barrel of ass.
Well, comparatively awful. I mean, that was really so much worse.
So for our Purple Ball of Destiny here, we have DJ Nugbone. DJ Nugbone posted 6 minutes ago, literally, so hot off the press here. Purple Bowl of Destiny's choice here. The song is called Memories, Gone Too Soon, in annotations. There's a video linked below to my YouTube, straight out of the comfort zone, coming soon. It's listed as electronic and EDM. The artwork is probably as you would expect for something like this. Presenting screen now. Looks very strange. I have no idea what's going on here.
Is it? Okay.
It's a flower. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a flower opening up. The ninja inside.
Yeah.
And then kind of Spanish Matador versions of Super Mario down the corner. Is it? Or are they flowers?
I don't know. It's something like that. But posted 6 minutes ago. Here we go. DJ Nugbone, Memories, Gone Too Soon. Let's check it out.
We live in a special kind of space.
This couple samples was back and went over here. Tried to keep them alive, and when we got here, the doctor checked them out.
There isn't any real need to change things just for the sake of changing. What was wrong with the world?
I believe the third eye is the reason you wake up.
in a special kind of space. What was wrong with the world?
Well, almost had it. I was like a millisecond off from actually stopping it appropriately. So take it away, Smart Monkey, our resident electronic specialist.
Okay, so there were some promising bits in that, and I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I quite like a bit of glitch, and there was a lot of glitch going on in there. A lot of sample mangling. A lot of work needs to be done on the production of that one, I'm afraid. Well, it sounded like it to me on my speaker setup. There was a lot of conflicting elements to it, and it was just distorting like crazy on mine. But with a bit of work, that a bit of production work could nail that. But I do think that perhaps a little bit less is more in this instance, and that perhaps there's too many layers going on. So he's got the right idea, some really good glitching effects, and some of the structure to the track is good. It needs a bit of shortening and some of those layers taken out where it's probably overloading a bit too much. Quite like some of the vocals as well, some of those like kind of retro style vocals that come in. So work in progress in my mind.
All right, Carlos Fandango.
Yes, I think with this one, I don't think for me it's personally a playlistable one for me, but I see its merits and its flaws. But I think the merits would be that it does have a reasonable build-up and a bit of ebb and flow. So it does, it starts quietly, becomes a bit busier and louder and fast, and slows down again, and then goes fast again, and ends up slower. So there's plenty of movement in it, and it's not like electronic music, as we've said before, is particularly emotional, but it's got a few different feelings to it and feels to it as the song progresses. Good vocal samples, some interesting stuff in there. There's lots to listen to, but I think it does get a bit too busy at times. I've put busy at times, so it's more or less concurs with what Rob was saying. But it wasn't too bad. But I mean, I'm always a bit mindful, of course, that when I'm hearing the tracks, when they're being played through the cans on the evening, it always sounds a bit different. So it's probably got a bit more meaty substance to it than I'm hearing. But it was all right. It was an interesting track, I'd say.
There was it was kind of low key for like a dubstepish song, but it definitely did have a little bit of meat on it as well. So it kind of felt like those were kind of like media zaps almost, right? And I was wondering as I was listening to the song, is there like a kind of like maybe a little bit of a political undertone to the music here, right? Because here's the thing with just straight electronic music, it's kind of like it's difficult to convey, your emotion. So you either put a music video behind it, or you use something like Media Zaps or whatever the case may be, right? So I'm kind of like wondering what's going on here. So as DJ Nugbone had mentioned, there is a link to the to a music video. I'll definitely check the music video out and see if I'm correct on my thought process here, or if it even has anything to do with it. I definitely like the song more than I did the artwork. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, production quality, there could be a little bit more done, and I do agree with what Rob Abelu said, is that less is more in this instance. I think that if we cut out that whole middle section, you just basically made it like, let's say, a 330 song instead of a 440, then I think that it could be viable to be to be played in clubs and things of that nature. So not bad, not great is kind of like where we're going with this. All I'm just going to say is, keep up the good work. I don't know if DJ Nugbone is kind of like new to the scene, or if he's been working on music for quite some time. But again, just as they say, practice makes perfect. And I'd like to know a little bit more about that song, other than the description that we had before. We'd like give it like a kind of like, let's say, like a final critique and everything like that. So by all means, folks, please, if you did like that song, jump into the video description below, hit that link to these artists here, go find them, make that song your own, whether you save it on your Spotify playlist, or you're watching it on YouTube, or whether you're listening to it on Slaps, or whatever you can do to help these independent and underground musicians out. Absolutely, we give you thumbs up and our own set of fires for that, for helping these folks out here. So moving on to our fourth scheduled track of the show, we have Dario. We've had Dario before, haven't we?
I don't know if we have, actually. I'm looking through the tracks. I don't think we have. Does it sound familiar because of the D4?
The 4 looks familiar as the A, and that's kind of like why I'm thinking, have we had Dario or not?
We've had a couple of A4s or 4As recently in titles of artists, so it's been used before, so it might be just a coincidence, but I don't think we've had Dario. So this is Dario Frangic from Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Influences include Aphex Twin, SZA, John Legend, Burial, Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, James Blake, and Mac Miller. This particular song is an interesting one because it says this track was made using my vocals and guitar only. It's a bit of an unusual one, and it also says I've been listening to the birds, and this is called Birds They Speak.
Kind of creepily, I've been listening to the birds.
Yes, it does say birds.
Yes. All right, well, this is Dario with Birds They Speak. Let's check it out. I'm confused. Carlos Fandango.
Well, I was keen to find out what you two thought of this one, because when I first heard it, I was thinking this is a bit different for slaps, and you don't often get like the other track from Bonnie Hart. You don't often get songs like tracks like this. I say song; it's not a song as such, but it's a piece of music. Now, it's a bit unusual, a bit creepy, a bit atmospheric. It's created a soundscape there. For me, it's like being if you in a city or town where they've got the concrete underpasses. You go down below the road, and you've just got some unusual characters and things, and buskers and strange noises, clip clopping of people's shoes and heels and things. And you've got some. You're a bit discombobulated and disorientated by the sounds coming from different places, because they're often tunnels going off into different parts of the street and across the road. So you've got that kind of eerie atmosphere that you get when you're feeling a bit uncomfortable, because you think, oh, who's going to be down here? Some crazy person or something. And basically, it's sonically quite interesting. It reminds me of on Pink Floyd's Ummagumma album. There's a track that always stayed with me from when I heard it as a kid. It was just me and my brother sort of just really loved the oddness of it. Was the several species of small furry animals gathered together, grooving with a pict, and basically that's the title of the song. And basically, it's with this sort of thing, it takes quite a while to create that the different elements of detail and sound, manipulate them, and then make it into something that's sort of cohesive. It's a bit random feeling, but actually it's been put together quite specifically and precisely, I think. It's an unusual one, and but I quite liked it because I sort of had to hear it about 3 times to just kind of get to grips with it and think, what is this? Is it? But it was just a bit strange. I liked it for its strangeness.
Smart Monkey.
This was a strange one. So what can I say about it? It's an unusual track for sure. So there, I was trying to place it, and there, back in the UK, we have what are called public information films, and they were basically there to terrorize children, because they would be played during the day, and they would be there to try and terrorize children into doing things sensibly and not doing something daft like I don't know, playing around power lines or playing near ponds when you couldn't swim and stuff like that. And there was this one that I always remember that haunted me forever, where there was a fire in this house, and basically the whole scene is set around a camera going through this house after the fire had been there. So obviously the fire burnt it out, and what you're looking at is the remains after the firemen had tried to put it out, and it's all wet, and there's this horrible haunting noise that went through this whole public information film that this reminded me of. It's like the echoes and the screams of the people left in the house. And it's unfortunate because this is quite a clever track, I suppose, to a certain extent, but all I could think of was that. So, you know, is it meditative? Is that the right word? I don't know. The word. Is it relaxing? No, not for me. It's kind of haunting, eerie, and quite unsettling, if I was honest.
Yeah.
Now, whether he meant that, I don't know, but that's the result he's got for me. And I suppose there's a place for that sort of sound and that sort of music, if you could call it that. But yeah, for me, it was eerie, haunting, and unsettling.
I agree with that. Eerie and haunting for sure. Again, whether it's the intent or not, I mean, you know, we're reviewing based on what we get in our own minds here. So, I had this game with the PlayStation VR, so it was a virtual reality, right? And there was this game called The Inpatient. And basically what you're doing is you're walking around this mental hospital as a patient. That's kind of like, there's a whole bunch of horror stuff going on and everything like that, right? That track would have fit nicely into there, right? But, I don't have too many comments on this, because if we're going to be talking about whether it could fit into a video game that's kind of like horror themed, then yeah, brilliant. A public service announcement where everybody and the family dog has been burned alive and are kind of like sitting there wet with the hoses and everything like that. Then yes, but I mean, I don't really think that this would ever be kind of like, played on, like, let's say, I don't know, like any kind of commercial. Like, where would you put this? You couldn't put it on like a car advert or anything like that, right? It would just be this. I think that it would strictly need to follow within those guidelines of being like, a sub song, in the movie The Ring or on a video game, something like that. I do think, from what I can pick up, it's a pretty decent production quality, but I noticed that it was listed as lo-fi as well, and lo-fi is supposed to be this relaxing kind of like study music and everything like that. This was not relaxing, and it was not study music.
No. I have to admit, I did. I had a couple of listens, and I tried to close my eyes and put myself in two different perspectives. One was like lo-fi study, it didn't work, and another one was meditation, it didn't work.
No,
maybe studies for taxidermy or something like that. maybe that's where the birds they speak come in.
maybe we was watching Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, right? And then that's when The Birds They Speak.
Yeah.
It could have been, like I said, it has to be a horror kind of thing, right? Because I would think that like Rob was mentioning, if it's supposed to be meditative, it's not. If you're falling asleep and this song comes onto the playlist or whatever, you're gonna be like, oh, what the fuck is going on?
You're just looking at all the shadows going, what's that?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's The Birds.
Well, imagine if you fall asleep to a relaxing playlist, but you've got that on, and suddenly in the middle of the night you sort of wake up and you hear that.
Horrible, right? Like right as you fall into REM sleep, that song comes on. That's not going to be a good dream, my friend.
Well, it might give you some interesting dreams.
To be fair, there is something in that, though, isn't there? That it has conjured at least that kind of reaction from us, and that it is very haunting and quite unsettling, and that it does probably have a place. There's definitely something there for it.
That's it. I'm not saying it's bad in the least. It definitely has its place somewhere. Like I said, because there were a few scary parts. I don't know if you guys have ever done the virtual reality thing, right? But it's pretty cool. I mean, it looks cartoony, but when you're in it, you're kind of like in it. So like the jump scares and everything.
You're invested in it, aren't you? Even though it's a bit cartoony.
Because everything's recorded in like 5.1 Dolby, right? So you have these AirPods or whatever the case may be, but you have everything in, and so all your senses are kind of like submerged right there. So, if there was a jump scare with that song like right behind it, then I mean, I think that would just be like, okay, good night.
Yeah,
it's good. But maybe it would. I don't know if you got the escape rooms in America as well, but we have escape room places that in the right scenario could work too. So I think it's got potential uses in different things. But I think just as an odd, unusual, creepy, unsettling piece of music, and you look at something like in the classical field, then you've got Stravinsky was doing very unsettling, unusual music, so much so that people rioted, when they were the first heard pieces of his music. So it's certainly got something about it that will appeal to some people. And it's not a commercial song or anything like that, but there'll be a sort of cult following of people that like that kind of music and unusual stuff. I mean, Max Richter, in a way, because he uses some unusual sound effects in his music, it's a bit lighter than that, but it has that sort of almost that kind of unusual feel to it, the way it's noises and typewriters and things coming in and out of your ears and hearing, and it's sonically interesting.
Well, I don't know if you guys have seen The Lighthouse, the sort of modern, because there's been several variations of The Lighthouse, but the last one with Willem Dafoe in it, you could see this track fitting in something like that, something quite artistic in the way that it's been filmed. This sort of track would actually work really well in that, because that just accompanies that sort of film really well. So the more we talk about it, the more I'm thinking, actually, good on it.
It could work in a good black and white film.
yeah, we're spending a lot of time on the song that we were all just kind of like confused about 2 seconds ago. But this is once again for me, if you take like the first measure of the Moonlight Sonata and you know, and you compare it to the song, then you know this creepy, eerie feeling to it. Then I mean, we could probably go on forever talking about this. So this definitely has a place somewhere. So go on, Dario. Liked it. I'm gonna have to say I liked it because we talked about it so much.
Yep, I agree.
We got here, so we got Tobin Kirk. I won't be there. What's going on?
So this is what's becoming our regular country cowboy spots of track number 5. This is Tobin Kirk from Prophetstown, Illinois, USA. Looks like a seasoned musician to me. It says, I write songs because I enjoy it. I particularly enjoy trying to make simple and catchy sounding songs using as many intricate rhymes, alliteration, assonance, and double meanings to create as many subtle hooks as possible. Influences include a lot of the usual suspects, so Willie Nelson, Ray Price, Buck Owens, George Jones, excellent George Jones, John Prine, brilliant lyricist, Tom T. Hall, excellent lyricist, who did I Love Little Ducks and Toy Trucks, or whatever that was song, I'll think of it. Mel Haggard, Roger Miller, he loves all the greats, and Johnny Cash, Buddy Holly. What could possibly go wrong? I think this one was a very nice light song to end side one on. After that darkness, we need a bit of light. So I think this one was called, which one did I choose? I Won't Be There, wasn't it?
I won't be there yet.
This is a song about being hurt, but rather than moping around, letting the person know that you're not waiting around for them to come back.
I love that you posed the question of what could go wrong. And if you want to know what could go wrong, please visit episode 23. And
just watch any previous episode and you'll see something going wrong. Wait for our star message later.
I'm talking about the how did you know about the star message?
We seem to be attracting all these star messages. You know, they just turn out not to be the stars, though, annoyingly.
All right, Tobin Kirk, I won't be there. Some good cowboy music for you here. Let's check it out.
When you get tired of running round town like a fool, when all your good time friends have gone, when bad advice you've taken leaves you begging to come home, but I won't be there. I thought you should know. When things get rough and you're no longer having fun, when consequences come to call, when you start fussing, repercussions just ain't fair. Well, I won't be there. I thought you should know. I thought that you should know what I'm thinking, and I thought that you should know where you stand. And when it crumbles around you someday, well, don't you dare come back to me holding out your hand. I mean this as a courtesy you never showed to me, but I won't be there. I thought you should know. Back to me, holding out your hand. I mean this as a courtesy you You never showed to me that I won't be there. I thought you should know that I won't be there. I thought you should know.
So it. Okay.
Someone's got their speaker
Want
on.
me? Want me this time?
No, that was me. That was me. Yep. That's why I'm in a panic of it. So I'm thinking the alternate name for this song is "Fuck Off." So Carlos Fandango.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. It's an old style song, so they don't say "fuck off" in the old songs. they say it in a much nicer, more pleasant way, and it's a shame everyone's not a bit more like that these days. Still, because the thing is, it's so nicely worded, and it's a positive song. So I've written down "happy, happy, happy." It's got a lovely sort of shuffle rhythm. Pedal steel guitar is beautiful, and a lovely long solo in there as well in the old style way. So it's got a mixture of the old songs, so a bit Roger Miller with its sort of happy style, chugging along sort of style. Vocally, I'm thinking well, a little bit Ray Price, but certainly Guy Mitchell, and that kind of Guy Mitchell sort of song. And a few others as well besides, but lyrically very John Prine sort of thing, quite nice and fun lyrically, playful I would say. But and the Tom T Hall song I was thinking of actually was called "I Love," because it's the one that says "I love little baby ducks and old pickup trucks, etc., etc." And it's a really good song, so it's worth. If you've never heard it, have a listen to that. And if you've never heard Roger Miller, have a listen to his stuff because he's brilliant. And John Prine as well, another one worth listening to. But this is all in that sort of vein. So I really like this one. It's a happy song. It could go on the end of a sort of nice, heartwarming film type thing, and maybe a slight sort of comedy film or something, but with a heartwarming edge to it. You know, so I think this would be a perfect play-out song over the credits and end credits of the film.
What a T-hole. Smart monkey.
Yeah, so I'm not an expert on this sort of area of music. So to me, it was a quirky country jazz number. Because it had that kind of jazzy feel to it. But what I found interesting is I thought it had a really sort of retro vibe, 50s, 60s vibe to it. Almost like a rockabilly sort of feel to it because of those brush drums, and then it sort of has a contemporary feel just because of the way that Tobin sings his songs and his lyrics. So it's quite a clever track, I think, and he manages to pull off a retro feel but bring it forwards. How he's doing it, I'm not quite sure, but it works. It really works. The steel guitar, and I'm guessing he's playing it, judging by his photos and everything. But steel guitar work is beautiful, and he's playing that so well as well. So, and the production qualities were good, and then just to top it off, when I went to go and have a look at his profile, and I saw his profile pics, he just looks great. He looks fantastic.
He really looks the part, doesn't he?
Oh,
yeah.
It's just brilliant. Yeah. He looks a proper character. You just want to meet him and have a chat with him. So yeah, all in all, I think what he's done is he's brought a very retro sort of track into the present, and he pulls it off, and I really enjoyed it.
I'm a big fan of the handlebar mustache.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
So he definitely totally looks the part. But again, just basically going back to the fact that he uses double meanings and everything like that, right? So this song's name is literally "Fuck Off" without actually saying "fuck off." So it's fun because, like, here's the thing. So my country knowledge, obviously, we talked about the last show, is I wish I had more knowledge than I actually do with it. You know what I mean? So I think I'm gonna start listening to a country Spotify playlist, like as I'm cooking dinner after the show and everything like that, just to kind of like get more vibes on it. But this definitely, to your point, Rob, kind of feels like very retro. So it reminds me of Conway Twitty. If you recall Conway Twitty, just kind of like the entire vibe, the vocal style and everything like that, really kind of like brings me back to that era when he was on, I think it was on Hee Haw, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be a show that Conway Twitty would kind of like appear on regularly and everything like that. I want to say it's Hee Haw, but I'm not really sure.
Well, the big one was the Grand Old Opry, wasn't it? That was the sort of big country show, I think, wasn't it?
Well, there was a Grand Old Opry, but I mean, Hee Haw was kind of like a comedy show. They would always have guests and everything like that. And this was like late 70s, early 80s. I remember I just barely remember this from a young kid's perspective and everything like that. But yeah, but I mean, this could fit nicely into many films. It could fit. One of the things that I was thinking about the other day actually was the movie with A Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, for example. And that was quite a trippy kind of like psychedelic movie and everything like that. It was meant to be that way. And this is the kind of song that could like appear there in one of those sequences. And yeah, I think that this could be used like all over the place. There's a lot of possibilities for it because this could be used in a country themed kind of movie, like let's say like Roadhouse or something like that, where this is playing in the background and people are dancing. I'm pretty sure that this would be a nice live performance. So I got to give this like all around kind of like, you know, like thumbs up and stars all over the place. And especially since the man not only talks the talk, but he walks the walk as well.
He's so
like
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if his music's going to be in a film, I have one caveat, and that is that he has to be in that film as well.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a walk-on part, he's got to be in it.
Yeah. He definitely have to have a little bit of a cameo or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like the fact that he has like that in this picture, at least right over here. I don't know if let's share it with everybody for a moment.
What, the actual track single artwork itself? Oh, that one, yes.
It's just so cool.
This one right over here. So he's like literally got that 1950s like microphone right there that's being held up with like springs and like one cord and everything like that. And he's just got like that, like I said, the handlebar mustache going on, and he's just like, once again, just completely looking the part, playing the character, and just doing a fantastic job at doing all of those. So
if you look at the single artwork as well, bring that up as well. That's worth it. I know it'll come up on the show anyway, but I love the fact that it's sort of done as a artwork style version of him, and it looks like an old 1940s, 50s sort of style piece of artwork, cowboy artwork or something.
Yeah,
I think that's
it's
brilliant.
It is brilliant.
Really got the whole image going on there. Great.
It really does. So yeah, so to Mr. Tobin Kirk here, like greatly done here. You know, from the Underground Sound, loved it. That was a nice segue into our break here and everything like that. So we will be on our break, and it might be seamless to you, it might not be, because
oh, there's no swish sound.
I said swish, didn't I? So here, let me
did you?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was laughing.
Fucking quiet. Ready? It'll be completely seamless. And we are back. Welcome to the second half of the Underground Sound. With me, as always, is Carlos Fanigo, the gentleman of gentlemen, Mr. Smart Monkey. Together, we are trying to put us back into music.
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we'll find the music that you love to hear.
And don't forget to click on the little bell, because then you'll get all the videos as and when Tom uploads any new Underground Sound videos. Notifications videos, yeah. Something like that. Nearly got it right.
You'll get the notifications of the videos. Yes, indeed.
That's the way around.
visit the video description below. Find all these fantastic artists and go show them some love, pretty please. And leave us comments if you like the particular song or whatever. If you didn't like the way we did something or you found us funny in another portion, then leave us comments about that as well. So before the break, our track number 4 was called Birds They Speak, and so we call them public service announcements or PSAs here in the United States. Rob, what do you call them in the UK again?
Public information films.
Public information films. And so Rob has managed to track down the horrific one that he was talking about in this when we were talking about the track Birds They Speak, which gave us an eerie feeling. We ended up talking about it a little bit more. So, Rob, please share that with us.
Now you put me on the spot. Where's the share? There it is. Bear with me.
Dario will be chuffed to bits that we're comparing it to a public information film. But they don't actually show public information films these days, which is a shame, because I think people do need those kind of messages, positive messages or negative ones.
Nancy? Jimmy?
Please keep matches away from children.
Yeah, so that's on the BFI channel, so the British Film Institute channel. They have some great old clips, cafe clips, and everything.
Send me the link. I'll be sure to put the actual video there with the sound and everything like that.
Yeah,
so we have
the sound is the whole point of it, really, because it has this really echoing, horrible, haunting sound to it. There you are, the link's there.
Yeah, I was thinking that you were going to send that to my email, but okay.
Email? What's that?
Well, the public information film told Rob not to play with email. It's dangerous.
A creepy man might come back.
Oh goodness. Well, we had a very decent first half of the show here, especially with song number 5 that we had played was fantastic. Actually, they all were good. Really, so we're on the right track as far as the show is concerned with the Purple Bolt Destiny choice and the songs that our producer here, Carlos Fandango, has picked out. So where are we going now?
Well, I must ask, have we got any messages this week? We seem to get messages.
Oh, for crying out loud!
From somebody somewhere in the world that sounds like a star.
We do. Let me open up the message chat here. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hey, we have a message from Justin Bieber.
Oh, no way! That's incredible. Fantastic. Wow.
Yes, absolutely. It reads, "Loving the Underground Sound Show. Keep on finding the great new songs. Baby, baby, oh, so good."
Oh, nice one. So he's even referenced one of the songs. Yeah, baby, baby. Oh, yeah. That's great. Fantastic. So we've got big names on our side supporting us.
Again, always. Yeah, fantastic.
Yes, that's Justine B. Burr, Burr, like the comedian Bill Burr, from Birmingham in England. And she's a traffic warden working for the Birmingham City Council, and she loves giving tickets out to men.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. So it's not Justin Bieber, it's Justine Bieber, who's a traffic warden.
Justine, the traffic warden.
Yes.
I think I know her, unfortunately, because she gave me a ticket.
Ah. She likes giving tickets to men, so that's unfortunate.
Rob getting a ticket for obviously being too sexy. Like, cut that shit out, Rob.
She said, "You're too hot to park there," and I was like, oh, "Come on." Just passing through.
You know, eventually we're gonna get these right. Eventually.
That wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad, was it?
No, it wasn't too bad. These are unscripted, by the way.
Largely unscripted.
Yeah, if Carl gets these, if we get to a point where Carl actually gets these to me a week in advance, then I'll have time to sit there and practice. So instead of looking down at the message over here, I'll actually be looking at you under the camera.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll do it.
All right. Well,
I just want to say, if Justine is watching, I love you really. Sorry about that.
sending big shout outs and apologies from Rob's side to Justine B. Burr. Now, okay, let's just move on to song 6, please. So this is Sidereal. Tell us about the song, Carl.
Right, Sidereal. Sidereal is the song. Sorry, I was getting thrown by there. I thought that was the artist. It's the so it's Entre Lluvias, which is Alejandro Medina Aravena from Santiago in Chile. I don't know if we've been to Chile before on the show, but hello, Chile. There's some writing here that needs translating that I haven't translated, but so it looks like if singer from Chile, music, indie pop, plays guitar and electronic music. So that's my rough translation. Now some of the influences include Radiohead, Beck, John Frusciante, Calvin Harris, Daft Punk, Air, French band, Gorillaz, MGMT, Röyksopp, excellent, and Chemical Brothers and Depeche Mode. And this track, it says Sidereal. This story talks about when a person loses his mind or is very attracted to another.
Okay. Well, we've had, we've presented songs with influences before. And we've been kind of disappointed by them, so I'm not going to get my hopes up. All I'm going to say is let's hear the track. So let's check it out.
Light in your tone of voice, it's a girl with when I sleep. A bit fast when I talk to you, sky's beauty and close and you. This time I'm perfect like a star. See the way I'm feeling, it's impossible to think without losing my head and fly. I see you just smiling, and you come way over speed. Magic to staying in my head. I see you just to dance with a fluctuation in your eyes. Scared to stay in my head.
And that one was Entre Lluvias with Sidereal, Smart Monkey.
Yeah, nice laid back vibes to that one. Probably partly down to those dreamy reverbs he's got going through there. Song style, yeah, I was definitely getting elements of Beck and Air in there. Both of those almost merge into this song style, to be honest, which is good because he does list those as influences. Vocally, a little bit of Beck in there. Instrumentally, yeah, quite a lot, and especially with the application of the effects. Production was pretty good, from what I could tell. The main thing for me was the bass. The way that bass just drives that song along. It's quite clever, actually, because, you know, bass is normally we all know bass is in a track, but this is quite prominent and almost as well, maybe even more so, more prominent than the vocal. Not in a commanding way, not it's over dominating, but it's very much there, and it's helping you journey through this track. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I like that one. Yeah,
I liked it as well. But before we get to my comments, let's hear from Carlos Fandango.
Okay, so yes, it is all about that bass. So it's got a, I think what's distinctive about the bass is it's using a lot of 2-note partial chords, or dyads, we should call them, really. So good retro groove, laid back, and it centers around the bass. But the drums got a nice sound as well. The snares got a nice sound, very retro sort of sound about it. I think I hadn't picked up on it, but it's absolutely correct what Rob said about Beck. Very much Beck and Air French Band as Air. They've definitely got that sort of the musical synth side of the things. It's got that sort of feel with the retro qualities. I like the vocals, largely because of the heavy reverbs on there. Maybe a little bit more detail in the song, possibly a bit more sort of pad synths or sounds could infiltrate nicely, and I wouldn't suffer for it. So, but it's the right length for the song, because it could be longer if you were to develop it more with a bit more sound and then do a longer fade out or something. But I think actually it's the right length. It's fine. It's good, and it's got a nice groove. And I think it's all about the groove with that one.
I think it's all about the groove as well, and so I definitely hear the Beck quality to it. But what I was thinking the entire time listening to the song is, if you gentlemen, I'm sure that you gentlemen remember, is we reviewed Punk's the P with Tiny Dot of Nothing, where there was a nice story going on there with the fly and the soup and so on and so forth, and we were really kind of like enthralled with that song. This one kind of had the same groove to me, so it really seemed like that kind of, it was just that interesting vibe that kind of like drags you into it. And listening to it again from the monitors, when you hear the speakers, when you hear the bass through the speakers, I should say, then the bass really draws you in, but it didn't take away from anything, as Rob had mentioned, because the vocals were still outstanding. So I think that the song works. I think that very enjoyable. I'm gonna have to love to go back and visit more songs from Entre here. Who has? Let me get back to the screen here real quick, so I know the Alejandro. So it's Alejandro, who the artist's real name here. There's two other songs actually posted up here, and I'd like to listen to those later on, because if they're in that same kind of that style format, really seems to be working, because it's storytelling along with a nice melody to it. So again, we could take it back to Cake and Flowbots, and just once again Punk's P, and just kind of like great song all around. So I'm just gonna say, really good job. Liked it. I did. I very much enjoyed that. Might be one of the top tracks of the night.
Interesting.
Thus far.
Very interesting.
Well, we move on. Thankfully, we all have beards to do that with. So.
Can't do that.
No, see, why do we got to start this again? Yes, Carl and I are bald. Rob has hair. Rob, join the bald club.
Yeah, but we've still got to do the hair episode, so I'll get the
that we do.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Funny enough, though, when I take these headphones off, the hair comes off with them.
Two episodes that are in future planning, folks, is the hair episode, and we also have Tragic Mike in the works. So stay tuned for both of those, because those are going to be. I think we'll have a good laugh. What I think we should do for Tragic Mike is I think that we should do all female vocalists or all female singers. What do you guys think? Yeah.
Sounds good.
I think that'll work well for the Tragic Mike episode. So moving on today, though, we have Ceylon.
Oh yeah, Ceylon. Now you're going to be surprised with me here. I mean, okay, the category is unsigned artist and Spotify follows, but actually I do believe, from my memory, if it serves me well, is that this is a sort of more of a sort of hip hop rap sort of thing, and it's unusual for me to choose one. It's usually the Purple Bowl that chooses one, but I thought this had enough going on about it to be interesting to listen to. So Ceylon is spelt Ceyyon, and it's from Toronto in Ontario, Canada. Ceylon, that's how it's pronounced. It says here, Ceylon is a Canadian rapper, singer, songwriter, and producer from Toronto, Canada. Influences are listed as Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar's mentioned a lot of the time, so he's extremely influential at the moment. Kanye West, Drake, Lil Wayne, Young Thug, Big Sean, and J. Cole. And this one says, Ceylon's Muscle Up slaps to workout and gym content, Fortnite and Warzone and COD highlights, car racing vids on TikTok. Anyway, but basically, you know, it's Muscle Up is, I think it's a positive message song.
All right, well, let's check it out. Muscle Up by Ceylon. Let's give it a listen.
Muscle up, muscle up, muscle up. Muscle up, muscle up, muscle up. New day, new year, so I gotta toughen up. Life's hard, so I muscle up. Muscle up, muscle up, muscle up. Muscle up, muscle up, muscle up. New day, new year, so I gotta toughen up. Life's hard, so I muscle up. Muscle up, muscle up. Tryna pick up the bags like a dumpster truck. See, life's fast, so we buckle up. It's a cold, cold world, better bundle up. Muscle like I'm moving weights. I know time doesn't wait, so the grind never breaks. Fam, look, I ain't got no time to waste. 2 men is pushing like I'm moving plates. Muscle up, muscle up, muscle up. Muscle up, muscle up, muscle up. New day, new year, so I gotta toughen up. Life's hard, so I muscle up. Muscle up, muscle up, muscle up. Muscle up, muscle up, muscle up. New day, new year, so I gotta toughen up. Life's hard, so I put it in. Work, see, lot of mercy. Life's full of up and downs, call that burpees, and I'm working. I keep my mind on the levels I'm in searching. Eyes on the prize, rush the evils as they lurk in like a cutthroat. See money, I skip them like a jump rope. They hope that I treadmill, so I gotta toughen up, work it out. Lifestyle, every day I muscle up. Muscle up, muscle up, muscle up. Muscle up, muscle up, muscle up. New day, new year, so I gotta toughen up. Life's hard, so I muscle up. Muscle up, muscle up, muscle up. Muscle up, muscle up, muscle up. New day, new year, so I gotta toughen up. Life's hard, so I muscle up.
Are you, Carl, are you seriously just realizing today that if you leave your mic on, it disrupts the audio?
Well, I've been muting it lately, but I hadn't been muting it all the time we've been doing the show before until the last couple of weeks. I've started muting it because I noticed that because Rob kept muting his mic when he was talking, I noticed he must have been muting it. So I thought, oh, maybe I'd better do that too. Because I noticed in one of the tracks, oddly enough, in one of the tracks back on 2 or 3 shows ago, I think it's me coughing or something.
You farted
In the track. Yeah.
Where'd you fall?
I could have been saying anything. I could have,
Muscle up, muscle up. Carl, what'd you think about the song?
Right. Okay. So it's not my normal sort of thing, but there's something about the song that just stayed in my head, and I think it is the phrase "muscle up, muscle up, muscle up" stays in your head. So, and it's a sort of I think life's hard, so I muscle up is the sort of main positive message. So it's just becoming strong, and yeah, I think it's just a sort of good individual message, to say that you've got to take responsibility and build yourself up as a person as much as a physical carcass, a body. But I don't know. There's something about it. It was not too different to any other sort of rap that we've heard before, except the fact that it didn't have any swearing in it, and it didn't have any N-words in it, and all sorts of things that they normally have. So that was probably what appealed to me. They didn't have all that, and that made it a bit more, a bit unusual for rap music. So a little bit more appealing. As I say, it wouldn't be something I'd playlist or listen to regularly, but I think there's something there for people to enjoy.
I kind of agree with it. So, Smart Monkey.
Yeah, I got a similar take on it, really, in that lyrically, I thought it was okay. It was good. I quite liked its vocals, to be fair. And when you hear certain other rap songs there, some of them are just monotonous, monotoned talking, and his is beyond that. It's quite good, and I was like intrigued whether the message was about muscling up because you've got to be strong to survive, or whether it was muscling up because you've got to look good in this modern society. So it's an interesting. I wasn't too sure what the take on it was, so I quite like that. My issue with the track is in the production of it. It has a lot of things that it needs working on. I found the bass too booming, and there's a lot of distortion going on, and so as a track in its production quality, there's a lot of work that it needed. But lyrically and as a song and how it was structured, I thought it had promise. I thought it was okay.
Well, obviously, you guys have been off social media for quite a bit, because this whole new clipping and like over volume of the bass and everything like that. This is a new, this is a new, like one of the new styles to like record music into and everything like that. So I'll say this much: it's kind of like for what it claims to be is like listen to this in the gym as you're working out and everything like that. So this is definitely kind of high energy. I think the vocals it plays nicely into it. I don't think it's like overlay vocals or anything like that, right? So the vocals sound kind of mixed. The track itself is pretty decent, but again, I just do not like that over clipping of everything to make a song, because a lot of people before had problems with mumble rappers, right? And then a lot of people had problems with this kind of stuff, and this happens to be a pet peeve of mine. Is you could still make it a good song if you kind of follow like musical guidelines, is mix it, automate it, and everything will work out just fine. So but again, nothing harsh. It's just, we've said it before, not really my cup of tea. It's not something that I would playlist myself personally, but it definitely has its qualities to it, and I totally understand what the song is doing here. So I am actually very surprised that Carl actually chose this song to be on the show.
It is out of the ordinary for him.
Maybe I was having an odd moment, but I just think I should really, maybe I was feeling bad because we don't really choose many rap and hip hop ones, and I find it a struggle to find ones that actually do appeal. But I think because the message was positive and it wasn't all sweary and N-wordy, that I just, there was something. I agree with you on the bass is just this sort of booming sort of. I don't like sub bass too much anyway, but it's a bit subby, and again, all the clipping thing, it's just the way they do it now. But I'm not overly keen on it all, but I know that some people would like it. Probably not our demographic of audience, to be fair, but it's there'll be people out there that would quite like that.
See, I think that bass, that's a common problem at the moment, and although we say that is what they're listening to now, I'm not so sure it is. I think that when you've got a studio and they mix a track like this, they get that sub bass, but they get it because they compress it and they make sure it's mastered into the mix. And a common mistake of a home studio is to turn the bass up. They don't understand that you've got to compress it. You've got to take those peaks out if you're going to do that, so that it blends into the track. Otherwise, all it does is just engulf everything else. So there's a bit of a mastering technique that you got to get the hang of to be able to get that very booming bass to come out of your tracks. And it's something that you got to master and learn. But just cranking the bass up to get it loud and to boom isn't it, because it just eats everything else up. And that's a common mistake I find of like that kind of home studio recording style.
Completely agreed. Yeah, for what it's worth, the song's decent. As a matter of fact, let me make sure I write this down. I totally forgot about that.
Come on. Sorry. Pussy. Pussy in the house.
There's nothing there, really. He does it every time. There's nothing there.
I'll prove there's something here. Come here. Oh, don't run away.
Yeah. It's
Carl's gonna show us Carl's gonna show us his pussy.
Yeah, Purdy.
Hey there.
Oh, look, see?
Oh my goodness, I could actually hear the
audience. Look, see all the audience.
This is where the neighbour is calling their cat back now.
She's been ever so loving lately as well. So a bit of a pest at times, but she's all right. But whenever I go to the loo, the little in the bathroom at least, the little paw comes under the door. Just
it's like my cat's like that. I'll go into the bathroom and leave the door slightly ajar, and the cat will just pull it open for the whole world to see me go into the toilet. You're like, thanks for that. If a cat could laugh, it'd be going laughing.
Well, she was desperate to get in there with me this morning. I thought, God, it can't smell good. I mean, you're supposed to have a sort of sensitive nose, but you can't have. But she just desperately wanted to get in. Oh, let me smell your poo. Let me smell your poo.
See what's died in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. She probably thought it was a dead rat or something. Something crawled up me and died.
Check you're all right. What the hell is that? An earthly smell.
Well, the thing is with cats, dogs, they might do something to save your life because we've tried this before. You just sort of lay there, you think, right, okay, what is she going to do? If you just lay there and died or something, so you lay there, and she sort of just totally ignores me, disinterested. I think if you're actually dead, she might have a nibble on you and
I think she'd just snack on you as the loving relationship you've got with your cat. As if you died, she'd eat you.
Yes. I love you so much, I'm going to eat you now.
You said that line before. Oh dear. Right.
This is horrible. I was going to make a completely different comment until you guys started talking about shit.
What was your comment going to be?
I was like, yeah, she's trying to get in because Carl's squeezing one out for crying out loud.
Which does make the shit bit sound a bit more gross, doesn't it?
Oh dear.
We are three sick individuals.
It's all because a cat came in the room. Well, right. So it's that time. It's your sad time.
Well, no, it's not just yet. It's the second round of the Purple Ball of Destinies.
Oh, it's the sad time after that.
Yes. Track 9's always the sad time, Carl.
That's true. Right, so Al will be joining us, and Al, of course, has got its own special crown. King Owl. It's got, it says there today. So I don't know, it's feeling very majestic and regal today. It's just yeah, looking around and wow, bit of an attitude problem, I'd say, but there you go. So I would like to remind it it's made of sellotape, that reel. So it's not exactly a proper crown, is it? After you think you're something, but you're not.
It's going to be a fight there in a minute with that old
trying to steal the show with your looks and silence.
Fucking owl, you know what I mean?
Oh, the owl's got to do this communicating through me at some point as well, isn't it? So, we'll try that, see how that works. Right. So, lots of tickets in there. Who's going to call it? What should we do? Something different? Do it sideways.
I reckon you should just chuck the whole lot in the air and catch one in your teeth.
Do you? Oh, should we see how it goes? I'll have a bit of clearing up to do, but shall I try it?
Yeah, I reckon.
Whatever lands in Carl's mouth.
Go for it. Go for it.
They might all land in my mouth.
Carl.
It's just the one. Yeah, this maybe you'll have a title for the show. The one where Cole chokes himself to death. Right, ready? You call it when you want it. Call it. 3, 2, go.
Go.
Oh God. Yeah, that didn't quite work out, did it? Well, that one. Okay. Right, I'll try again. Hold on. I've got a few left. Ready? Let's try again. Right, there's a few. Oh, this is silly. What are we doing here? Right. Which one do you want?
He's done it.
That one, okay.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Well, with all the irreverence of just then, we've got
Punk. See, that worked. I mean, that's pretty punky.
Well, I should have worn my anarchy badge, shouldn't I?
Oh my word!
I've got to find all these tickets now. They're all over the place. I'll be clearing these up for weeks now.
We don't need them anymore tonight. So,
whoops! I've lost the rap hip hop one. Oops.
Cat's currently going toilet on him because I think it's cat.
Look at that! They've gone everywhere. Oh, surprise, surprise! Pussy has left the building. Oh, God, getting all hot now. All right, now I better do the owl thing. I'm rolling up my sleeve because I'm hot, not because I enjoy it.
Oh my God.
and I'm putting on the oil because it's just my skin's a bit dry. Right. Oh. Okay, we're ready.
Oh my God.
So, what's the? Did you have a joke this week, Rob?
Oh, did I? I don't know. Let me have a look.
Otherwise, we're back to Tom O'Connor's.
Here we go. Let me drag up a joke for you, and it is literally dragging them up. Yeah, why not? Why did the baby cookie cry?
Don't know.
Because its mum was away for so long.
Oh.
Yeah, wafer. You get it? Yeah. Right. All right. Let's move on. I told my girlfriend I had a crush on Beyonce. She said, "Well, whatever floats your boat." And I said, "No. That's buoyancy."
Oh, ouch.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That was
yeah.
With that said, here we have a song that was posted 13 hours ago. These Thrilling Lies is the name of the act. The song name is No Food. Let's get some more info here. Lifelong lover of primitive 3-chord 60s garage punk and sleaze. Play crappy, sing crappy, but love making a noise, as the annotation there A lot of influences, but none of them kind of like seem to match up with the genre here. So presenting screen now. There we go. These Thrilling Lies, No Food, also available on Spotify, classified as rock and punk. 3 minutes, 32 seconds long. Let's check it out. So that was These Thrilling Lies, No Food. What did we think, Owl, of?
Let's see. Dum dum dum. Oh, Owl of So-So, I think. Owl was not too sure about that one. Was bopping for a little while though, but not 100% sure. I thought it was lots of energy, grungy, crunchy, raw. I like the echo reverbs on certain words and things, so it's very ska-like in that respect, because there's quite a few ska artists that would have that kind of heavy reverb and echo delay. It's got the sort of rawness of I had a friend I used to work with, Richard Huggins, who used to be in a band called Armitage Shanks, who did quite a few singles and was sort of quite well known on the punk circuit. Didn't quite make it ever, but they were quite well known. But and it had that kind of real rawness to it. But yeah, make a good live track. I think yes, not one that I'd play this, but has its merits. There are people that like punk music, and but it definitely had that sort of retro flavour punk music where it's sort of very stuck kind of sound to it. So yeah, it's okay. Not a bad choice from the bowl, but you know, it's punk is as punk does.
Punk is as punk does. What say you, smart monkey?
Yeah, very similar, really. I mean, punk is one of those genres that's quite difficult to sort of judge and review on this sort of basis. Punk is all about going and watching it live, isn't it? It's you know, punk stems from that kind of bar where you know, those sort of like dark, dingy places where it'd all just be kicking off, and that kind of music just works in that forum. And I could imagine that being a pretty good song live, to be fair, because that's it, you know, it is about the rawness, the, you know, do you have to be musically brilliant or vocally brilliant? No, it's all about creating the energy and you know, getting that rebellious side that punk music has. And I think it did have an element of that, to be fair. So, you know, yeah, it doesn't come particularly well through the speakers and through this, but then it almost felt like it was recorded as they were playing live in some relatively small venue. And yeah, it was okay. As it did what it was supposed to do as a punk track. It is very punkish. So yeah.
Indeed, very, very punkish. It was kind of like reminding me, you know, with the organ playing in the background and everything. I was kind of like thinking if like the Ramones and the Doors had like a love child or something. You know what I mean? Like this is probably where we'd end up here. So these Thrilling Lines, it's not bad. It's just kind of like, you know, how do I explain it? I'm kind of like used to the, you know, Sex Pistols, Billy Idol, you know, and this is kind of like a new form of punk, it seems like. So I won't say that it's horrible, because again, with Wrath of Amari, which is supposed to be like this kind of like death metal band and everything like that, right? Which is one of the nominees for our best of the 22s and everything like that. I could see where they could possibly draw. Excuse me, real quick, hold up. That went down the wrong tube there. But I can see where they'd be. Oh my god. Nope. not even entertaining your laughter at this moment. Okay. I can definitely see where Wrath of Amari draws their strengths from the punk origin. I can definitely see where the punk origin draws its strengths from, you know, the rock and kind of like the metal origins of everything. So it's not a horrible song. It's just, you know, not the greatest thing under the sun either. You know what I mean?
It's raw, isn't it? Yeah. It's raw. It's very much reminiscent of British punk when it all sort of stemmed off in those really early days. So we see a lot more of a refined punk bands out there these days, much more well produced and things. But the origins of it were very much from like bars and clubs with just rebellious bands wanting to emerge and just stick two fingers up, dare I say it, to everything else. So, and that's what this harks back to, I think, a little bit.
I still can't get over the two finger thing. but nonetheless, it's just you know, musically, if this is what you love, keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, you know, once again, none of our comments are meant to be destructive or anything like that. So just keep doing what you're doing. If you love creating, then create. I mean, whatever the case may be, you're creating a piece of art. So whether it be for yourself or whether it be for everybody else, that's just the way that things work these days, unfortunately. So once again, folks, visit the video description below, find the links to all of these artists here. And if you like that one or any of the other songs that we had played, then by all means, click on the link, show some love. And I see that we're moving on to something which has some pretty badass artwork that I think that we should probably share here.
Excellent. So, say goodnight to Rob and Tom and the audience. Elle, You don't want to go? Okay, well, you got to go. Bye-bye. 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 King Owl. Oh, yeah, that was really cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's pretty dope. Because I'm pretty sure he's just kind of like standing on a pane of glass. But I mean, if he jumped and they took that shot like that, then I mean that's even that much more impressive. But I just thought that was worth sharing, like kind of like right off the bat there, because it looks pretty cool. So what we got here is Matthew Walters. What can you tell me about Matt?
Right. So what can we say? Let's have a look. We've got.
Says he levitates.
He levitates. Yes, levitates for a living. From Nashville, Tennessee, USA. Okay, and influences include, doesn't say much more beyond that, by the way, but influences include Sam Smith, Adele, John Mayer, Amy Winehouse, Alicia Keys, Harry Styles, and Ben Rector. I've not heard of Ben Rector. Should I have heard of Ben Rector? And this is the only song uploaded so far by Matthew, I think. One track, 87 plays and 11 followers. Just says, my single from an upcoming album. Hope y'all like it. And it's called It Was Me. It's only had 2 saves so far. One of them is me, but I think was 3 saves. And but yeah, I thought it's quite a poppy number, this one, and it is in the pop genre.
Okay, well, I didn't know Spotify follows was a genre now, but apparently it is. So pop and Spotify follows. So It Was Me by Matt Walters. Let's check it out.
How do I even start this? Definitely gonna break my heart, and a million pieces got me shattered. I'm climbing up a never-ending ladder. I'm so in love with all these dangerously addictive notions, pulling me closer to that fire hose of your lovesick ocean. I need the freedom to escape, cause I'm going round in circles, making me dizzy like a 2013 4G commercial. So hello, it's me, and I can't believe, gotta say it loud. You'll be dearly missed, but for my soul to persist, I am done with you now. Hey, don't take it personally, cause it was really me the whole time. You're worth much more than I can offer, so I need to cut this off before our lives become too intertwined. Did I really just do that? Do I wanna take it back now? Retract, climb the ladder till it's over. Never mind, I guess I really told her. I'm so in love with all these dangerously addictive feelings. Got me so high, I hit my head atop your exquisite ceiling. Needed the freedom to escape from going around in circles. Made me so dizzy like that massive globe spinning universal. So hello, yes it's me. I still can't believe that I said it aloud. Hey, don't take it personally, cause it was really me the whole time. And you're worth more than I could offer. I had to cut it off before our lives became too intertwined.
Matt Walters, It Was Me. Carlos Fandango.
Yeah, so I think this one, you may remember we had, you may recall we had B. Peasy, Brian Perry, recently with Like a Glove. We've got another one of his coming up in a few shows, but it's that sort of commerciality, musicality in there. Nice, rhythmically, it's nice to listen to. Musically, it's nice to listen to. It's sort of pleasant, happy, catchy, commercial, radio friendly. Very contemporary vocal style, nice vocals. The rhythms are nice with that sort of plinky plonky, pingy pongy sort of thing. More pingy than pongy, I would say, though. But yeah, short and sweet, 2 minutes 30, like a lot of the pop songs are now. So it doesn't outstay its welcome. And I think it's a really, it's obviously got good artwork there, good image building. And I think, if he carries on in that vein, in that pop sort of genre, then I think people are going to like that. It's good. It's a good little catchy number.
What do you think, Smart Marquis? Was it more pingy or pongy?
Well, I don't want to say it was pongy at all. I thought it was quite good. I don't know why you had to bring pongy into it there, Carl. It's just a bit unfair. No, but yeah, it has a very good pop vibe to it. And even though I think it's a breakup song, it's actually quite upbeat and bright and cheerful. So maybe it's great to break up with people. I don't know. But yeah, Matt's got a great voice. He's got a really good voice. And you were saying about Ben Rector, but go look up Ben Rector. He's this song is quite similar to Ben Rector's stuff, and he's pretty good as Ben Rector as well. So nice production. I was intrigued by the piano bit. I'm guessing it may be a sample. I'm guessing, but it'd be nice to know whether he's actually playing those piano bits in, or whether it's just a sample loop. But overall, I got a nice summer vibe from this, and we had just trying to remember, just looking over here a minute as I quickly have a look. I think it was Shaheen.
Yes,
who I did
last week,
a
Shaheen, yeah.
summer track, and I could see this sitting on that playlist. So there's a playlist that I'm going to have to start bringing together here, because these all kind of sit quite nicely together, sort of summer pop in my mind. And yeah, a bit of a teen audience, I think, again on this one, but yeah, it's radio friendly and quite good, I think.
So Matthew Walters, I was just checking on that real quick. So Matthew Walters, I gotta say, to kind of your point here is that if you remember Justin Bieber, when he broke up with Britney Spears, like way back when, he had a song like "Cry Me a River," and even though there's two different themes to it, I kind of like agree with you, Rob. Here is that it seems kind of like
that was on Justin Timberlake, wasn't it? I think you got the wrong one.
Fucking A. Yeah, Justin Bieber was on the show earlier.
Yeah.
It was Justin Timberlake.
Yes, she was.
Yes. Yes, she was.
See, I thought when you said breaking news, you just made, sorry, not made up, had a special message from someone. Like it was an actual pop star.
I'm sorry, Justin Timberlake. So Justin Timberlake had that kind of song, which is "Cry Me a River." So I think this kind of sounded like Cry Me a River, but with an upbeat tone to it. So it's like, hey,
yeah,
fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck
breaking
you.
up.
So
We're breaking up.
get the whole boy band like right behind him, right? Ooh, breaking up. Right. So I think it was catchy. I think that a lot of people can relate to it. Nice length to the song, good production. The album artwork is there. I think that we can expect to hear more. I honestly do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice length, Matthew.
Yep. You got to bring it there, don't you?
Right. So, on that note, would you like me to introduce our final track of the night? The showstopper?
Ghost of You, please, by all means, tell us.
Right. So, Ghost of You is the artist. The person who's behind that largely is Cleve Willis from Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Influences are not listed, so we don't know. But I think as this one was, if I remember rightly, this was a sort of rocking, sort of roistering final track to the show. And it says here it's featuring Tuck Smith of Tuck Smith and the Restless Hearts as a writer and propper. Also played guitar on this track. So I'm not sure how that reads, but Kathy Timeless rock songs. The middle breakdown is undeniable. Not sure about how that. It feels like it's back to the start of the show when we couldn't put sentences together. But Heartbreak Creeping, this is called, by Ghost of You. It's had 2 saves, 8 fire so far. I'm going to put that up to 10, maybe 11 or 12. Who knows? Or 13 even.
12.5.
I mean, there was one earlier we had, I think it was the first track. It was on 220, I think Tom must have rounded up to, but for some reason it got to 221.
Strange.
I'm not sure how.
It's a fucking mystery, isn't it?
You might need to revisit that one later.
Yeah.
I haven't done it to any others though, so I've been very kind tonight and considerate.
So it almost seems like they wrote this song after the introduction of the show, because I have no idea. Well, featuring Smith of Tuck Smith and the Restless Hearts as writer and proper, also. A writer and proper also play guitar on this track. I have no fucking clue what that was. But anyway, so this is Heartbreak Creepin, also available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. From the logos here. There you go. My goodness, just everyone's just going fucking crazy these days. Let's check it out.
Shining through the cracks, we'll tell the truth and take you back to a memory. Heartbreak's creeping over me. Sometimes the mask you wear will pull you down and keep you there inside of all your lies. I need a life with a soul to keep. Heartbreak creeping, choke and feeling, lost in the shadows again. Heartbreak creeping, choke and feeling, lost in the shadows again. Sometimes luck ain't good enough. The down always finds its way up. Looking for a place to be. The sun is shining over me. It just gets so cold living in this house of stone. But I'm running from the night. Heartbreak creeping, choke and feeling, lost in the shadows again.
Oh, right. That was Ghost of You, Heartbreak Creepin, Smart Monkey. What'd you think?
Yeah, really enjoyed that. Really good track. And I'm just gonna embarrass myself here because I don't quite know what I can compare it to. It has a bit of a retro vibe to it, but it's not. It's also got a modern contemporary feel to it. So I was like really struggling. I had a bit of Pearl Jam, but it's not quite Pearl Jam. And then I had shades of Aerosmith, and it's not quite Aerosmith. So one of you guys will probably nail it, and I'll go, yeah, that's what it is. But basically, though, really, really strong, good rock track and heavy rock track, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it has a really commercial appeal to it. If I had one slight criticism, and it is incredibly slight, it's that by the end of the track, I found that the vocal had become a little bit repetitive, and I would have somewhere liked a little bit more of a variety of break in it. But how that would be, I'm not entirely sure. Whether it be a bit more of a change in the vocal element of it, I'm not sure. But all I know is that by the end of the track, for some small reason, I'm like going, yeah, okay, you've sung that bit a few times now. But it's a very minor criticism because I really enjoy the track and it really gets me going. And I've put a comment on here because it's quite, I thought it was quite good. But if they ever remade the Lost Boys, this track needs to be on it because it needs to be on like a modern version of the Lost Boys, not the old one. The old one has its place with its soundtrack, but this would be really good with a new Lost Boys. So someone remake Lost Boys and put this one on there.
That could be a good idea, wouldn't it? Carlos Fandango.
Actually, that point about the vocals is quite an interesting one because I hadn't really thought about it before. But you're right. I think all it needs really is a little bit of the so-called sort of ad libs, whether they're sort of predetermined ad libs or whatever. But it needs something a little bit different, perhaps because the chorus by then has been heard a few times. Or another way of making the chorus, if it's a chorus that's been heard 3 or 4 times already. Then can always change the key subtly as well, and then that kind of lifts the song. Or something like Layla has got a descending chord change from the opening, which is basically the riff and the chorus, into the verses, which goes down and changes key downwards. So, but there's ways of doing it, but the ad lib would be the obvious way to do it, I think. But right. So, well, a solid composition, a really good, solid production. It's very hooky and riffy, so it gets your attention from the outset. It's got a good, strong chorus. And a good song that if it was played live, it's certainly a good song. I'm sure he does play it live. You can hear the lyrics nicely as well. So it's a strong vocal, but you can actually hear what's being sung really clearly, every lyric. So that's pretty good because a lot of songs you don't know all the lyrics and can't hear them all properly. Good supporting harmonies. And that solo with the wah-wah pedal, and that was really cool. And then it breaks down further with that sort of keyboard synth thing going on, and then the effects on the guitar as well, really cool. So all that whole section is really good, and it's I think that was really well thought out, to the point though that I thought, well, I wouldn't have minded it actually hearing the synth sooner, but then I really like when they suddenly come in and you suddenly realize there's a synth there in the mix, but it's just hidden until that moment, and then it suddenly becomes apparent, or it might just appear at that moment. But I really liked that. That's a good little touch. I've forgotten that was a very strong song, actually. Good, really good.
Yeah, I did actually. I made a comment about that guitar solo, and I sort of said it was a guitar solo, but it's not. It's beyond that. The little guitar solo comes in, and then they extend it with this like extra bit and effects and that, and it's really, really good. So I thought I'd better just jump that in there because I forgot to say that.
I'm kind of all over the place with this one. I liked a lot of it, and it kept on reminding me of things. And the thing that I'm struggling to remember is there was a particular song on the Pink Floyd album, The Division Bell. that was a very rocky kind of like this. But let me get back to the things that I definitely kind of like think I know in my brain right now. So Eric Frampton would have definitely I think killed the song, and obviously Bon Jovi. I think that's been a great Bon Jovi song, and it has that little bit of country swagger to it, with being, like kind of like a heavy rock song. So I think that it works both ways. So when those synths were coming in, I was kind of like picturing like Peter Frampton, like kind of like singing in the tube and getting that kind of like synth modulation into it and everything like that. But it turned out to be a synth, so it turned out like fantastically all throughout the song and everything like that. I'm still just trying to think of, and I'm looking it up. Because I'm trying to think of what song it was in the Division Bell that it reminded me of, and I'll get back to you on that. But I think that it was just a great overall song. It was a good production. Obviously, I think that they have a crew working with them to kind of like make them a rock band, and whatever they're doing, I think that they're doing it correctly, because this is it's a pretty solid production. It's a pretty solid, straightforward production. I'm pretty sure that the song works well recorded, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to work well live too. So I got to say that Cleve Willis, is the poster. But Ghost of You, Heartbreak Creepin. Head down into the video description below. Check it out. Closing thoughts, fellas.
Oh, I just want to add on that one. They've got a pretty good video with that as well. Go check it on YouTube. It's a pretty good video for that track.
I have, mate. Okay, because the artworks, I mean, it's not stunning artwork, but I like the image they've created there with the sort of moodiness of standing around as a band, and I think he's sort of cultivating a cool image there, and certainly in keeping with the music. So I think yes, I'd like to hear more. That's for sure. I think he's got a lot of potential for writing some very good songs.
Yeah, they're definitely another band that's putting the effort in and pushing themselves. And you go and look and like the videos, it's, I guess it's done on a bit of a budget, but it does well for that genre of music. It suits it really well. Go check it out. It's good.
Yes, it's done on less of a budget than this show is. Like, we're wants to be talking about budgets here, fellas. Come on.
Cue the special effects.
Believe me, there will be a special effect there once it's edited.
This is the extent of our budget. Whoosh, whoosh. But it's fun. It works. It works.
I still have to make notes where to put the special effects. So special effects after Ghost of You.
I wonder if you can put some special effects on me swishing the pen around or something. You sort of put a little bit of magic fairy dust.
No, man, I'm still trying to figure out how to work your coloring out. Okay, because you're like orange on the left, purple on. I'm sorry, orange on the right, purple on the left.
See, it's weird because on the screen here I'm not too bad, but see if I turn that light off, that gets rid of your orange for you.
No, you just look blue.
Blue.
This is our special effect.
Oh my God! Speaking of which, listen to this.
And that's brighter. That's brighter. That's brighter.
No, turn that off.
Not there.
No, that was fine like this. Speaking of blue, if you remember the song by Eiffel 65, stop it!
I can't.
Cause somebody have a seizure, man.
Eiffel 65. A blue, yeah, blue dabba dee dabba da.
Right. So I had a passenger in the car the other day who was like, I'm blue. If I were green, I would die. If I were green, I would die. If I were green, I would die. And I was like, wait. I'm like, those aren't the fucking lyrics, are they? He's like, I don't fucking know. I'm like, now I gotta go and I gotta look this up.
It was dabba dee dabba dum, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it's completely unsensical. Fucking.
I've never thought of it as if I was green, I would die. That's bizarre, but yeah,
right? Yeah, but see, it's nonsensical, ranting, but it doesn't mean anything. But you can't help but be stopped in your tracks to when you hear somebody else singing it like in the background, because then it's right. But then when somebody's actually singing it, if I were green, I would die. If I were, it makes sense because they're two different colors. And then if I were green, I would die. And so this is the thing that kind of like caught me off guard, and I had to look it up. But so it's not if I were green, I would die. It is actually about a beat, by and Dubai and so forth and everything like that. So this has just been a really, really, really weird show.
Is that where you're going to cue in the special effects and you're going to go green?
No, because Carl had said blue.
Yeah, but I think you should go green. On the special effects, you should suddenly go green at that point.
Yeah, but I can't because he's purple again.
Ah, Jesus.
Purple. I thought I was pink on your screen. Because you sent me that picture of who is the villain? Was it a villain or a hero?
Thanos. No, if it's Thanos, it's very well depending on which side you're on, So
Yeah, that's a good point.
villain and hero, it really just depends on
Villain.
individual perspective, buddy. So,
Yeah, because I was thinking, oh, it might be you. Just because I thought I will look up Thanos.
see,
Right. Okay. Well, here it doesn't look too bad, but it just depends. If I turn this off and that up slightly, it should be more white.
Yep, you're definitely whiter.
Okay, well, I'll keep it like this from now on. Then it's a bit bright, but it's okay.
Well, you can knock that off. Just,
Have sunglasses on in a minute.
Yeah.
Cool, Carl.
I'll focus on you there.
Like
So
Rob when he's laughing.
here, turn that one off.
My eyes disappear.
Turn that one off. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, I suppose I could just have this light on. I've not quite got this lighting right yet, but let's try and turn this off then. Oh, well, there are different colours, by the way, but that's off now, so it's just the orange light. Is that better?
Turn the lights off altogether. I think that'll work.
Is that better for you? Oh, that's just the computer screen now.
Yeah.
You know what?
Better.
That is exactly my lighting. Is just my computer screen.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
I've only got the one.
I've got about 17 of them.
I've only got the one computer screen on. Maybe I'll just leave the soft lighting on. But that also depends on this as well, though, because that's got the
Oh look,
the reflector thing.
oh look, that's a bit natty, isn't it? What's that?
The old reflector. Oh wow.
Is that a reflector or is that a big light?
No, that's a big light.
Wow.
I got that going on this side. Then I swing over here. I feel like
Wow, you got it all going on there, man.
yeah, it's just like kind of like I don't want to twist it too far. So I got that one kind of like pointing up. This one's coming off to the side. Then I try to like kind of like focus everything down so I can get the LEDs in the back over here.
So that tan is just coming off your lights in your studio.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
There is no tan. The tan does not exist.
But you're getting the tan off of them. You come out and like,
special effects and makeup, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see.
I feel like I need a little bit more, concealer.
See, the thing is, I'm using my bowler hat lamp, which has got a sort of orangey glow, plus a gold thing. And even so, I still can't get a tan. It's unbelievable.
I still got that light going on too. So
All
that
right.
one provides kind of like the natural color because the two lights on the sides, they are very much very bright whites. So yeah, this is everything that I got going on here, kind of like on a weekly basis. This one kind of bothers me. I've learned to tune it out after a few shows, just because this one is just like, I just want to make sure that if we ever record HD, that we have the proper lighting going on, because then it's much easier to manipulate the intensity of it and everything. But anyway, this isn't the fucking lighting show. It's the Underground Sound, for crying out loud.
oh, we still going on the show? I thought we'd finished.
No, we haven't done the outro yet. So thanks for joining us for the Underground Sound and the lighting equipment show here. Please visit the video description below. Find all these artists and go spread some love everywhere to all these fantastic indie musicians and that are pumping out this music. And once again, thank you for our I don't think do we ever like come to like a really solid ending with Ghost of You? Because I know we moved away from it like real quick. It's just
Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Yeah, so go check out the video.
yeah. Go check out the video. The video link will be in the description below. And by all means, once again, visit these artists, spread some love, show some love, share them on your social network platforms. I got stuff flying all over the place here. This is just not a good day to be recording for whatever reason. It's raining outside again.
So the big question really is, of course, what are your top 3 songs? And in reverse order, what would you say?
I was getting to that. In reverse order?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Matthew Walters. Tobin Kirk. And for as long as we talked about him, Dario.
Really? I wasn't sure that you'd actually like that one.
For as once the conversation really started progressing further and we really started to get into it of like, where could you see this? Where would it fit in? Then we're like, yeah, and here's like a public service announcement. And here's like a video game. And here's this, here's that, and the more that we got into it, the more that I actually got into it, just thinking about it, because again, it's kind of a creepy thing, but it works. So smart monkey.
Yeah, okay. So for me, there's a bit of a toss up here between a few of them. So a couple of shout outs to is it Entre Lluvias? Sidereal?
Yep.
I liked that one, and it was there for a while, and then a couple of others knocked it off. I'm afraid. I'm sorry. And Matthew Walters, I really liked that track. It was so well produced and so poppy. And I thought, well, I picked a poppy one the last time, so I'm going to go with a couple of others this time. So number 3 was Ghost of You, Heartbreak Creepin. It just had something about it that I really liked. And if they just get a bit of variety in that vocal, I'd be even happier. But that's not going to happen because it's probably a solid track as it is. So Tobin Kirk, I Won't Be There. I really enjoyed it. I just love the quirkiness of it, and I just love his vibe. He's just brilliant. And up at number 1 for me, just because I don't hear this genre of music very often, and I thought it was done really well, and it brought some really good feelings to me. It was Bonnie Hart with All Sun No Clouds. I really enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. You know who Tobin Kirk reminds me of, incidentally, also is he reminds me a little bit of Slow Walk, especially with the hangman thing, because he had that the Western mustache going on, and everything like that. So Carlos Fandango, your 3.
Yeah, it's a really tough call, really, because I like the Bonnie Hart one as well. But it's really tough. I'm going to base this just purely on what I would listen to the most, and the tracks that I'm likely to acquire and buy and listen to. So there's something about The Birds They Speak I really like, although I don't know if I'd sort of continuously listen to it. However, I will say 3rd place, Ghost of You, Heartbreak Creeping, really solid song. 2nd place, Matthew Walters, very poppy, very melodic, and I think it's catchy, and you'd probably listen to that because it's a very summery, happy vibe song. But for me, Tobin Kirk, I Won't Be There, is just the one that I would definitely play the most because it's a really happy vibe, and I love that old style anyway. I love country music, and certainly when it's done in that retro style, sort of country / Guy Mitchell sort of thing going on, and that's my favorite.
And brings a contemporariness to it as well that I really like. I just it's good.
So, we've talked about artist development in the past, and certain record labels will want you to look a certain way and everything like that. I'm not sure that's the case with Tobin, for example, but I think that he's really trying to personify himself into that kind of genre and everything like that. So, in either case, honorable mention. Excuse me. In either case, an honorable mention to all the songs that were featured here today. The Purple Bowl done well, I think. We haven't really had something completely out of the ordinary. It was extremely disappointing or anything like that. There are very, very, very few songs out there, I'll say, that are just kind of just completely disappointing. I think I've only had 4 Cy McCall moments maybe out of the entire series that we've been doing here of the Underground Sound, and so generally the music has been pretty top notch. Carlos does a great job at finding all this stuff out on Slaps here, And we have more direct submissions pouring in. We will be getting to those as well. So we want to thank you for joining us today. The date of recording is the 10th day of March in the year 2023 for the archives. I am DJ X Tech. With me, as always, is Carlos Fandango. And once again, the gentleman entrepreneur, Mr. Smart Monkey. And together we are putting us back into music.
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we'll find the music that you love to hear.
And don't forget to press the little bell somewhere around here. Tom might put it this time, or it might make me look stupid.
The other side.
The other side, here.
Yes.
Okay, so press the thingy, and the other thingy, and the other thingy. Press the bell, and then you'll get notifications of whenever Tom uploads new underground sound videos. May I say also that we want to encourage not just the artists to join us in this journey and listen to your music, your fellow musicians' music, but also all the people looking for new music out there that won't be heard on the radio stations, or we hope will be heard one day on the radio stations. Come here. This is where you get great new music, and it's always going to be a good music and a good variety of music as well. So there'll be something, at least one track that you will like each week for sure.
You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. It's always going to be great music.
Nicely job.
Nicely jobbed.
Goodly done again.
Go listen to great music, and we shall see you next time on the Underground Sound for tonight. Toodaloo.
Hit the road, Jack. Yeah, go with that one.
Well, nice seeing you, folks.
Goodbye. Goodbye.